Welcome to another Black Myth Wukong video, and in today's video we're taking a look at the spell Dark Thunder, which lets you transform into the horse guy, infuse yourself with lightning, and then make lightning rain from the sky as you whip people. Not to mention the AoE lightning spell you can do that makes anyone who walks in this circle get hit from lightning from the sky. But to get this spell you're going to need to follow the horse guy all throughout the first 5 chapters, so let's start breaking down how we unlock them. In chapter 1 you're looking for the back hills of the forest. This is right after you come out of the temple where you fought that giant wolf. Just head down the path a couple steps and you'll see a trail off to the left that leads to a cave inside the mountain. This is where you're first going to interact with the horse guy, and you're going to want to make sure to exhaust all of his dialogue. If you get to chapter 2 and can't find him, it might be because you didn't finish talking to him in chapter 1. In chapter 2 we're headed to the village entrance, and you're looking for this spot over to the left where you first enter. Through the main entrance of the village, just off to the left, you'll see this area with a shaded Buddha statue. It's here that the horse guy is tied up. Once again, make sure you exhaust all of his dialogue and he starts repeating himself before we move on to chapter 3. In chapter 3, we're not going to find the horse guy until we get to the very end of the chapter at Thunderclap Temple. You find him on this walkway here, which you reach after you climb this building here when you're on your way to fight Non-Void. This time the horse guy is completely under Yellowbrow's spell and is happy to stay here forever, so we need to talk to him a few times until we convince him to move on to the next area. In chapter 4, we're going to find him in the Webbed Hollow, just on this lower ramp area before we go fight the right hand of Buddha. This time you can hear the horse guy talking from inside this cocoon sack, so you're going to need to break it open in order to free him. Then after you free him, make sure you exhaust his dialogue and talk to him until he repeats himself so that he'll move on to chapter 5. In chapter 5, if you defeat the Keeper of the Flaming Mountain before you've talked to the horse guy in the other 4 locations, then you're not going to be able to unlock this spell. So make sure you talk to the horse guy in the other chapters before you defeat this guy. And on a side note, if you need help defeating this guy, I'll leave a link to my video in the description below. Now it's time to head to chapter 5 and defeat some enemies. And to do this, we're going to be using my Golden Loong staff build, which I'll leave a link for in the description below. The first guy we need to defeat is the Pale Axe Stalwart, which you'll find as soon as you get to chapter 5 fighting a bunch of other people. Beat him to earn his respect. Once you defeat him, talk to him and exhaust all of his dialogue. He's going to give you a new quest where you need to go around and defeat 5 evil carts. And the first cart's right behind you shooting fireballs. To find this cart, run up the stairs behind you, but don't go down this main path. Instead, go up the right onto this ledge here and you can walk down and avoid all the fire he's breathing. Then we can get behind the cart. You can just jump off the ledge behind him once you're out of the range of his fire. From here, we're going to use our Falcon Hermit Spirit. This is going to send out a frost tornado and we're just going to wait until it totally freezes the cart. Then we'll run up and start using our staff spinning technique so that we can hurry and build up enough focus points to do a heavy attack. That's why this build uses Immobilize also, so we can hurry and freeze him again before he can breathe fire on us. Now we'll use our heavy attack and then we'll back up and rinse and repeat the whole process. We'll find the next cart in the Woods of Ember, on this path here. Normally you go through this cave and around down the path, or if you're like me, you'll be crossing the bridge, see something shiny off to the left, go examine it, and that's when the cart below is going to shoot his fireballs up, knock you in the head with it, which will knock you off the bridge and do more damage when you hit the ground. However, you choose to get down the trail. Once you get to the cart, you'll see there's no way to sneak around them. So what I did was use Cloud Steps so that he wouldn't attack my guy, and then I could sneak up and do a heavy attack. After that, we're going to use our Spirit, the Falcon Hermit, to send out a frost tornado and freeze the cart again so that we can repeat this whole process. Now here I get too greedy and try to go for the Falcon Hermit again, and it takes too much time so he's able to get in an attack. That's why we should use Immobilize to keep the staff spin going. Now this time we will use Immobilize so that we don't get hit again, and then we can finish off the cart. That's 2 down and 3 to go. The third cart on the Flaming Mountain is going to be down in this cavern, and you can actually see the cart's been drawn on the map right here. But to your surprise, once you get to the cart, you find out that it's already been defeated, and there's a whip that's hanging out of its mouth, so you pull on the whip, and that's when you find out the horse guy is trapped inside, and he's not coming out till we defeat the other carts. The fourth cart is going to be after you fight the Keeper of the Flaming Mountains, so I would go back and save and refill your gourd before you come up this long set of stairs. You're going to find the cart up here where this symbol of the Pale Axe Stalwart is on the map. This time the Pale Axe Stalwart's going to help and fight the cart, so we're going to start off the fight with the Falcon Hermit and get our Frost Tornado out there. Then we're going to get in and start staff spinning so we can build up 4 focus points for a heavy attack against him. Turns out when you're not fighting these carts in a hallway, they can actually move around pretty well, and I didn't go refill my gourd like I suggested earlier, so we need to get 4 focus points and get the Yin Tiger out. Nice, we almost died, but still, that's another cart down with only 1 more cart to go, which is going to come up at the very end of this chapter. After the Bull King's daughter has used the plantain fan on the mountain fires, then we can get to this spot here where we're going to find the final cart. As we approach the final cart, he's going to spit a couple fireballs at you that are pretty easy to dodge, and instead of using the Falcon Hermit, we're using the Opera Bat, because as you can see, I was able to dodge his attack while freezing him, which is going to save us on some damage. Then we can get in there and start staff spinning to build up 4 focus points and unleash a giant heavy attack. If you find yourself caught on fire, you should stop, drop, and roll, or you can use the fireproof mantle. Here I find good positioning on the side of the cart to immobilize him and start staff spinning so we can build up 4 focus points. Then I want to transform straight into the Yin Tiger. At this point my spirit's back, so we're going to use the Opera Bat to dodge his fire attack and freeze him so that we can get up there and start staff spinning for more focus points. At this point his life is low enough to where we can finish the fight, so we're going to go into Cloud Step first before we do our Pluck of Many, that way our duplicates don't get interrupted. Then we finish charging our heavy attack and get an Unveiling Strike in. And that, my friends, is how a monkey and his friends takes down a couple carts, finds a horse, travels all over the place for a new spell. But now that that's all said and done, we can head back to the 3rd horse cart that the whip was hanging out of, and this time when we pull the whip, it'll become ours, and we can transform using the Dark Thunder spell. If you have any other tips, comments, or strategies to fighting the horse guy, or a good build when you're using them, please leave it in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and obey.